Hello, friends, and welcome to the 2024 Haiku Report, presented by Cleveland Tom Industries. I am Cleveland Tom, President, CEO, and all of the many hats that are required to run an organization that big. This is going to be a long one in this now 3-year-long tradition. So without further ado, let's just get started. First, the agenda. You can see there, process overview, big things from the year that we did, fast facts, year-to-year comparisons, engagement. We'll talk about the haiku sale, the year in review, the affiliate recap, the hooligan acknowledgement, superlatives, and of course, the all-time leaders. Let's start with our process overview. First of all, we have a patented process known as the stream. Perfectly proprietary. What is it? How does it work? I don't know. And what we take some nice words which are royalty free, which means we can keep our costs low as we're not buying these words from an outside supplier, we're sourcing them royalty free. The stream is powered by channel points and biddies from the willing customer base, the real engine of the organization. Of course, that got cut off in editing, I suppose. Then the next part would be the product in its most pure form, the haiku, as the Japanese call it. I'm not here to give you a history lesson. You can research that on your own. From there, we take it to our distribution, which is a distribution specialist who is a bum, grifter, drinky poo thief, though for somehow has a certain panache that people can't seem to get enough of. I don't understand it, but he's part of the organization. And then finally, to the customers, and they're performed live for hooligans all over the world. How much all over the world? We'll talk about that later. So that is the process by which we operate here. It's very simple, it's very concise. There's not an inch of fat in there that needs to be in there to be as efficient haiku killing machines that we need to be. Okay, so for now, let's break through for some big things that we did here in 2024. First of all, we added the Cleve First redemption, significantly slashed price for the first claim, and if you get a Cleve First, that means you get a haiku for 1 channel point. It was very well taken advantage of. I don't have data on it. We'll do a better job in 2025. Secondly, the release of the 2023 haiku book, a big chunky 183-page book, looks like an actual book now, a significant improvement technologically over the 2022 version. We're very proud of it. I expect the 2024 book to be even larger. The implementation of Haikusmas. We formalized it as an event. We gave up gift haikus, so everybody who came into the stream could get a free haiku, 1 channel point haiku, and we wrote our first version of the Nightmare Before Haikusmas, and music was provided by Every Time We Slay, which we enjoyed thoroughly. We'll be seeing that and more from him later. Next, refined haiku slam battle. We changed to a best of format. The idea of reading thousands and thousands of haikus and having it really clog up the stream gave me a bit of heartburn, and I didn't want to do that. I thought it would make for poor content. So what we did is I read every single haiku over again, and I selected the ones that I thought were really good. All in all, about 18-19% made the cut, which is what I tell you. At the time of recording, we're nearly done. We have 2 more streams to do. So I think that worked. It got it to a nice tight 5 streams, maybe 10 hours of reading as opposed to what would have been, 25. Actually probably more than that, probably closer to 50 at that point. But I think we did a lot. So big things are happening here. Big things are always happening at Cleveland Tom Industries. So next, let's talk about some haiku production fast facts, because we love our facts and figures here at Cleveland Tom Industries. First of all, 123 haiku streams for a total of 5,135 haikus. That's an astoundingly, stupefyingly big number. With the most haikus we did in a non-special stream would be 61 haikus on January 1st, first stream of the year. Special streams would be Haikusmas and the sale, because those ones are designed to get more haikus in. 96 hooligans. The most hooligans in a non-special stream, 21 hooligans on one day of stream when people were getting themselves in for the beginning of the year. And 130 did the same thing. 21 different hooligans came in and got haikus on that day. 33.1 haikus for an average of 14.5 hooligans per stream. We'll see on a later slide how that compares to previous years and how large of a number that really is. The first haiku of the year was Booba Come Back from Computer 82. Compy got in first with a very popular topic. We know Booba's out there somewhere. We just want him to come back. The last haiku of the year, Extinguishing the Lamp for the Final Time by C. Chrisman. during the Haikusmas spectacle in which we dimmed the haiku light for the last time. The sale was 129 for the haiku sale and 105 haikus for Haikusmas, both giant numbers that we're very proud of. Let's do a year-to-year comparison just so we can see how the stream is growing and changing over time for the last 3 years. First, you can see there the stream numbers are basically the same. We actually did a little less, partially because we tied up some streams clearing up the haiku sale. That would have been 4 streams. Personal responsibilities have prevented the streaming from happening as much as I like, but life is what it is. But still solid numbers. I'd take anything over 120 to be honest. The haiku number nearly doubled from 1046 in 2022, 2515 last year to 5,135 this year. At this rate, we'll be doing 4 million haikus by the year 2031. Haikus per stream, once again, 7 to 17 to 33, just giant numbers of haikus coming off here. I like to see how big we can make it. Maybe that doesn't work. Okay, countries, the number of countries from 10 the first year, 13 the second year. We picked up a few more, we'll discuss that later. Hooligans in total from a very nice 69 to 87 to 96. I suspect we can get up to 100 next year. That's my goal, is to hit 100 one of these years. I think that's a big number. The numbers keep growing. It's a niche product, so you tread carefully on whom you think you can get in. Hooligans per stream, I only had this number for 2 years. We went from 9.7 to 14.5, so 50% improvement there. The haiku sale count from 125 to 341 to 1,029. More about that and the lasting effects of the sale later. And if we wanted to summarize the haiku year as the 90s album title, we've chosen Four Non-Blondes, Bigger, Better, Faster, More, because that's really the theme for the year. We produce a lot of haikus of high quality in a smaller number of time, going faster. We really found a stride this year. I think it was great. Great year compared to other years. What does this look like next year? We only have to wait one more year to find out. So let's talk about engagement. Let's talk about our haiku running total. You can see they're pretty stable throughout the year. The big bump during the sale, a little flat spot where I was on vacation in October, a little bit of a dead spot where we were reading haikus. You can see this is familiar. This is very similar to last year's. You get a nice early rise here on the front end when people were getting their numbers up to try to establish the order. And then again at the end where people were trying to get their haiku goals. In the middle was relatively flat. These would represent 40s and 50s. This represents 20s and 30s in terms of how many haikus per stream that we're doing. That's what the data says, right? And of course, you can see this is backed up here by the daily haiku counts. I left the sale off because it dwarfs the rest of the profile, dwarfs the rest of the stream. High peaks early in the season, low peaks end of the season. A nice flat spot when people are outside getting some sun, trying to go enjoy the summer as opposed to sitting in here and listening to me talk. So we did do a minimum of 13 haikus every stream. That's a fantastic number. I know last year we had a streak of 60 where we did 10 more. The lowest we did was 13, which is a large number too. So we're happy with that, and I expect that number to go up as more people get involved in the stream. Next, let's talk about the hooligans, haikus per stream breakdown, the haikus and hooligans breakdown. We talk about haikus per stream. You can see there one stream with over 70. I believe that would be Haikusmas. But you can see most of our 50% of all of the streams represent 21 to 40 haikus, which makes sense, kind of leaning towards the upper end on that, right? Mostly in the 21 to 30 range, making up about a third. And then you have the hooligans per stream, which 60% of them was 11 to 15 hooligans. So it kind of makes sense on our average there. It's a lot of people that come in on a regular basis to get one every stream or nearly every stream, and then people who pop in periodically to make up the rest of that difference. And we'll talk about attendance and who's showing up in streams a little bit later. Next, let's talk about haiku attendance. Hey, let's talk about it now. So what we've done here is we've created tiers. Because, people like to be categorized. If I've learned anything about life, people love to be categorized. So we've started creating tiers. So the bronze tier is for people who have been here you got a haiku in 25 to 50% of the haikus, and their names are there. Sheepdog, in my opinion, being the most impressive because he's in a different time zone over in Europe, but to be there for 26.8% of the streams means the man has some serious insomnia, or he just likes to catch the streams, because we didn't do a lot of day streaming like we usually do. Big Otis came in, the rookie, 27.6%. KO, who was mostly at the sale and not much after, but he came up for 29%. Fat Cat is a mainstay, 36%. Popcorn Cannon, who lives a very strange sleeping and streaming life, 37%. Joe's Your Hero, who was in early, we didn't see him for a while, and he came back at 39%. And of course, Health Myself, who took a bit of a lengthy break in the middle of the year at 43%. That is the bronze tier. The second tier, of course, would be the silver tier, which is 51 to 75%. And that is only populated by one man, Da Boomsticks, who spent most of the year at 69%. But he couldn't quite keep it together long enough to get that magical number. Next would be the gold tier. Gold tier is 75 to 90% of stream attendance with a haiku, and that's 3 people who made that. Every Time We Slay with 80%, Philip Schneider with 86%, and C. Chrisman with 87%. That's a tough tier. I mean, realistically, that means you're only missing about a little more than 10 streams with haikus over the course of a year. That's pretty hard to do. So hard so that we created a higher level than even gold to demonstrate the challenge, I think, that goes into it. We created the platinum tier, which is 90.99.9% of the stream. So 90% to just missing one. And that level is populated by 5 people. And these are people that are in here every day getting haikus, running streaks, enjoying the content, building up decent numbers. Computer MD with 91%, Jedi with 93%, Darthling with 97.6%. I think he missed 4 streams or 3 streams this year. 2 people missed only 1 stream. Chelsea P 2009 with 99.2%. She missed 1 stream this year. Broke her streak, unfortunately. We'll talk about streaks here, I believe, in the next slide. And then Muta Shadow also missed 1, which compromised him on his streak. So very close to perfect attendance. But there was only one who managed to make the diamond tier, which is only achievable by getting a haiku in 100% of our canon streams. And that, of course, the High Queen herself, the legend, Brand Diesel 327, got a haiku in every single stream this year. A feat that no one's ever achieved before. I think last year Jedi had the most at 92%, and Shadow had a long streak, but no one's got one all year. So congratulations to Brandy on being the true diamond in the stream as far as attendance goes. What else we have for information? Hooliganship by attendance, you can see about 74.5%, less than 10%. So more than 25% got a haiku, and more than 25% or more than 10% of the streams, which is about where last year's numbers were. For the tiers, we had 17 qualifiers this year, 11 last year. 17.7% of all hooligans qualified for an attendance tier, as opposed to 12.8% last year. Once again, about a 40% increase in people doing it. Since we're building infrastructure to get people to want to come in and get haikus, and so far it's been working. We got about a 40% improvement. We'll see where we go next year now that it's on people's kind of minds that it's something that you can do. And remember, it's only 25% of the streams. Anybody can get these tiers. You don't have to be throwing biddies around. You just be a regular viewer of the stream and get haikus when you have enough points, and you can easily qualify for one of these tiers. Up next, let's talk about streaks. We're going streaking, everyone. First of all, the Iron Man Award still goes to Muta Shadow. He has the all-time record still of 130 consecutive streams with a haiku. There's a typo there. That's still 10. That's still his until someone breaks it. Let's talk about the longest ones we have available. And actually his streak wasn't broken on March 9th, unfortunately. We just missed him. It was a stream he slept in a little late, short stream on a Saturday morning, and we lost him, and his streak died with it. Otherwise, he's been here every other stream. Let's talk about the longest active streaks, the potential future Iron Man or women of the stream. Next, Chelsea P with a streak of 20. She just lost her streak in October. Philip Schneider with a streak of 21. He's been making a point to be in here. Every Time We Slay with 27. That covers about a third of the year, or a quarter of the year of streaking. C. Crispin with 52. Getting heavy up until that puts him back into about August, I'd say. Muta Shadow all the way back to March 10th or March 11th when his streak was broken. And lastly, the current streak leader, Brand Diesel 327 with 123, effectively every stream this year. Only 8 more streams to go until it's hers. It's a goal. Does she want to set it, or does she decide that this is how she wants to go? Does she go for the whole next year? Does she stop before she gets there? Does something go wrong and Shadow holds the record? But then one of these other guys, Shadow could get it back. Colin could get it from him. There's a lot of people that could have the record based on a decent amount of streams next year. So let's talk about haiku global reach. I did something a little different than last year. I didn't want to go through a lot of slides and all that business, so I made a little GIF that covers all the places that we visited from the good people at placesvisited.com. Let's take a look. First of all, let's talk about Europe. We hit the Iberian Peninsula. We're big in Italy. We did Germany. We did Belgium. We did the UK. And, of course, huge in Scandinavia, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, and Finland. We hit one in Japan, courtesy of our buddy Tribal, who's at Ohio Transplant. Australia, Sir Dash, and Nine Names. And then Brazil from our boy Kelmez, who got a few haikus this year. And, of course, up in North America, the United States, of course, home base, and Canada. And let's not forget, of course, oops, screwed that up. Let's get to the end here again. The sovereign kingdom of Brandeisel, which has relocated to Michigan. We didn't forget her. Just because she moved house doesn't mean she's still not her own nation unto herself. So we count that one canonically. Brandeisel is a kingdom that is canonically a haiku country. So we count her on there too. Shows the global reach there. Did a lot of work in Europe. I'd like to see that always grow. It's always fun to get someone in from a new country. There's people that I wish would get haikus that won't for some reason, and I can't. What am I going to do? Keep bringing it up? I might. Let's do what we have next here. Let's talk about the haiku sale. The haiku sale was a big day for us. We did it in July 13th. We did 12 hours of straight requests from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. A total of 1,029 haiku requests came in. 455 were written during the 13-hour live stream, which is a lot. It's about 25 an hour. 13 hours of writing, I wrote that. We wrote the other 600 haikus. Took us 4 additional streams of just reading haikus. It slowed down production for July is a relatively low month because there was a 4-stream gap or there was no haiku redemptions because I was reading 200 haikus a stream to get caught up. So it shows you the power of the hooligans. We had 31 hooligans participating. I think that was half of the number that we had at the time. We generated $209 for the ASPCA with a matched corporate donation from Cleveland Tom Industries for a total of $418 for some puppers. I'll do that again. We'll pick a different charity next time. I think somewhere along the lines of an autism awareness or something, because I think that would be one of the one of our hooligans was interested in that, so we'll try that one next year maybe. And then also, here's everybody who was involved, all 31 people. You can see some big hitters in there. Potatoes, Darthling, and Kale put themselves on the list effectively with a really big haiku sale. Compy was big, Joe was big, Shadow, Otis made his first big move to Boomsticks, Slay and Sheepdog and Nine Names, a lot of people outside the country. I think Nine Names caught us on the beginning and end of the stream. And then a lot of heavy hitters in there. You can see 31 people for 1,029 haikus. And let's, guys, remember on that day, we were all haiku champs on that day. Just participating, I think we did a good deal for charity. I really enjoyed it. It was not easy, but it was rewarding. We'll do it again next year and see how big it can get. Next, let's move into the numbers in review. You'll watch this. I put together this little drawing here that shows, you can see on you have your top 10 list or top 11, depending on who's in there, the amount of hooligans we had at the time, and a well-organized haiku pile, which shows the amount of haikus in kind of graphic form so you can get your mind around how many haikus we've done. Each little box there is one haiku. It's 50 boxes wide. 50 haikus wide, so you know. All right, so let's hit that button. Let's see how she looks. There you go. Into February. We reached 1,000 haikus in March. You can see that. Picking up hooligans as we go. 1,500 haikus on April 12th. By April 12th, I should say. Hooligans at 60 hooligans now. We're hitting May. We're about to hit 2,000 haikus for the season. Here about in the end of May. Early June, 2,000 haikus. We're coming up on the sale though, 72 hooligans, 2,100 haikus. Slowly you can see the numbers are growing a little bit smaller as I do pre-sale. There's an explosion. 3,000. We had about 1,000 haikus. We're right about there. We're cruising through August. We're well into 3,500 haikus. Hooligans, we're getting a little less hooligans. The hooligan pipeline is kind of shut down a little bit, but that happens. It's really hard to predict who's going to come in. We passed 4,000 in September. We get to 85 hooligans. The pile gets bigger and bigger. We're heading into November. The home stretch, people start picking up numbers again. 4,500 by Halloween. We're at 90. We start picking up more hooligans at the end too as we end the year. 5,000 by December 14th and 5,135. Wanted to thank you for the fantastic year in the stream. The numbers are boggling. I want to keep working on ways to distribute those numbers like that. I like that format. I think it tells a picture. I'd like to do a little bit better, maybe something a little more elaborate next year. But that shows you kind of the growth of the stream over the year, and thank you for all of you for participating in that. That's a fun little bit of information, and not possible without the help of each and every one of you. Wait, we don't want to do this one, do we? There you go. Let's do the affiliate recap. My pal Health Myself, who's signed up, he's took a step away from his role here at Cleveland Tom Industries to take a little bit more of a personal effect. Hold on, we don't need you yet, Health. Wait in the wings, buddy. He took a little break, kind of took. I de-emphasized him and his responsibilities here in the Cleveland Tom Industries, and he decided he wanted to go off and start his own little satellite. So we have this is the affiliate report from the Philly region. This is the affiliate report from the Philadelphia region of Cleveland Tom Industries. I'm going to shut my mic off. You're tired of hearing me talk. Please enjoy Health. A very well-dressed Health. I mean, I had to put a tie on this morning to hang with him. So sit back, relax, watch Health tell his story about his year on his haiku affiliate.
Well, I would like to welcome you to 2024 haiku recap for the Philadelphia region of Cleveland_Tom Industries. That's right. There was a franchise location this year. It involved the most important product at Cleveland_Tom Industries. Outputs, for lack of a better term, haikus. That's right, everybody. Let's check the numbers. We're going to take a look at our Philadelphia region overview for the year 2024. The numbers do not lie, much like science. There were 27 haikus written this year for 6 unique requesters. 327 total words for an average of just over 12 words per haiku. 459 total syllables, meaning 17.0 syllable average per haiku. That is 100% accuracy, friends. You cannot ask for any more than that. Our busiest days this year were in March, relatively early in the year, on March 1st and March 6th. We were asked to write 3 haikus on each day. Our longest streaker, Jedi 31177, requested 5 in a row without interruption from October 28th through November 29th. And our most overall request also belongs to Jedi 31177 with 12. Nearly half of the haikus this year belong to Jedi. Thank you for your support, Jedi. We appreciate it. Now, perhaps you're more of a visual learner than an auditory learner. That's the word that I'm looking for. Perhaps auditory. I don't know. I only know haikus. Now, this location was closed for refurbishment for a long portion of the year, which is why you can see there's a sizable gap in between March and August. But we recovered pretty well in the back half of the year. We had 13 haikus at the tail end, just like we started with 13 haikus at the forefront. Pretty equal, all things considered. We did a lot of things here in the Philadelphia region. We built the haiku heck hole, which for those of you who are wondering is the performance stage that we use. We installed a mechanical brick wall that automatically deploys when it is time to read a haiku. We wired a custom spotlight to put all the focus on Haiku Health when he takes the stage. Purchased a custom neon sign to let you know where you are, because it's not the jungle, baby. We did hire a session bassist, because you don't just want to listen to someone talking over nothing. We want to have some music also settled on a discounted haiku price. We started at 1,000 channel points and lowered it. And after lowering it to its current value, we boosted user engagement, we increased requester happiness, and our overall haiku quality was still extremely high. And that can only mean one thing: better value for your channel points. It's one of the things that we strive for here, the Philadelphia region location of Cleveland_Tom Industries. But we are always looking ahead. We are looking to the future. We have big plans. According to the numbers that have been crunched, we are estimating a 200% increase in haiku requests in the year 2025. We are estimating a 100% increase in overall haiku requesters. Research and development is currently looking into adding a haiku delivery system to the channel bots. That's right. You will be able to directly interact with Pants Epidemic in order to get a historical haiku thrown right back at you, triggered by the ID number of the haiku, and possibly read by me, by Haiku Health, by someone else, by an AI voice. It is still TBD. R&D is going deep on this one. The technology department is trying to acquire a microphone for onstage uses at the Haiku Heck Hole because we know you want Haiku Health's voice to be heard and heard clearly. We are trying to make that a little bit better, a little bit brighter, a little bit bolder. We're trying to fix that and make your overall enjoyment increase. Will there be special haiku events forthcoming in 2025? Anything is possible here at Cleveland_Tom Industries, Philadelphia region. I'd just like to take a few moments to say thank you to Cleveland_Tom for allowing me to pursue this special venture and opening the very first licensed franchise location. That's right. You may have heard of other franchise locations opening up, but they were unlicensed. And much like anything else that is unlicensed, it is dangerous. Do not use. And Tom did in fact request 7 haikus himself this year, so he deserves a round of applause for that. Thank you to everyone else who requested their very own personalized haiku this year, including Jedi 31177, Computer MD82, Future Rush, Muta Shadow, and Kev87 Lads. And thank you to anyone else that I forgot to name. Brain no worky. You know how it be. See y'all in 2025. Take care. Enjoy the tail end of the year. Me and my buddy Snorlax are going to go work on some haiku-related things. We'll see y'all later.
I can barely think of a person better to entrust with the future of haikus and Health myself. Health, excellent performance this year. I don't want to say you nearly outshine the master, but you damn near did it. Excellent presentation, excellent work, and the haiku as always. And make sure you check Health out and get a haiku there. As the only officially licensed haiku distributor on Twitch, he'd be the guy to go to if, say, something bad were to happen to me, or if you just want to change a pace for a better value. So go check Health out. Excellent work as always, Health. Thank you very much. I appreciate your work. No one rocks a tuxedo like you do, buddy. Okay, let's move on to the next part here as soon as I can get this thing to work. Let's talk about the hooligan acknowledgments. Remember, guys, there are 3 tiers of haiku hooligans. The haiku champs. Those are the top 10 haiku hooligans for the year. 10 or more haikus, more gooder. 10 or anybody who ties for 10th gets in there. That's kind of limited. It creates a little competition, but we created more tiers to give people more recognition without having to necessarily be on that level. The next stage will be the ride or die hooligans. They're defined by having 25%, more than 25% of the 10th place haiku champ. So this list could be everybody else. So if the 10th place hooligan had 100, you got 25. Boom, you're a ride or die hooligan. You get a little special recognition. You get a cool nickname as the ride or die haiku assassination force, which we'll talk about them shortly. And then associate hooligans, which would be up from 1 haiku up to just missing the ride or die haiku tier. I wanted to make sure that enough people, that everybody who participated got some recognition from the organization in hopes of spurring further interest. So take a look at yourself in the mirror, hooligans, and let Haiku Tom ask you, which one of these define you? Well, let's find out. We don't have to be a mystery. I know I like to keep the information close to my vest, pun intended, as a who's where, except for the haiku champs. But we're going to talk about those tiers now. So first, let's celebrate the associate hooligans. That's 76 of you, so making up, about 80% of the group. You can see the people there, a lot of familiar faces: Gustavo and Alice, Matthew Rieger, Bagler, Nine Names Tate, people who started a little later in the year and got a bit of the haiku fever, people that come in and watch periodically, people that just pop in once in a while that you don't see that often. But you can see it, and a lot of people who just came in got 1 or 2 haikus this year. But they're on the board too, they all belong there, so congratulations. They're small in numbers, but strong in character. Maybe. So get those names. Thank you to all of you. You make up a good amount of haikus on your own, and your viewership and participation is appreciated. Next, let's talk about the Ride or Die Haiku Assassination Squad. There's 10 people that qualified for this tier. Let's talk about them in reverse order. So lowest number on there. The Pickled Peppers, Mr. Piquel. He's our European friend. He's been around for a while. His skills involve mooching for subs, haiku series about the same topics, and just being Danish, which I hear is pretty weird on its own. Next, Sheepdog81, King of the North, from Norway, the most haikus of anybody who isn't an American this year, which once again is pretty impressive because he's in a different time zone. Both of those fellas, Pickles and Sheepdog, both Europeans. It's exciting to have people from other countries get in here frequently and get haikus. Up next, you just saw him, you know him, you love him, Health Myself, aka Tech Support, a guy who is building his own little empire to the east of us and helps me solve problems and contributes in a lot of ways to the stream. Congratulations, Health, on making it. This may be your first foray. No, you've been on the champ board before. You've been a haiku champ before. This is not a step back in any way. This is just a step in role, or a change in role, and then change in the stream. Next, Gridiron Norseman, the Spiking Viking, the man who loves his football. He hates the Vikings, but he also likes the Vikings, but he also hates the Vikings. Also, when they're lining up for field goals, no dish or table is safe in his presence. Up next, the silver-tongued devil himself, Popcorn Cannon. There is not a person on Twitch who says more incredibly nice things about me than Popcorn Cannon does. I like him. You should check out his stream too. He's a different cat altogether, but also a frequent haiku participant. You saw him on the haiku tennis board too. Fat Cat, the Jarl himself, another Viking. We're very Viking themed here. Fat Cat, once again, even though he's 3 time zones away, we usually catch him either late or beginning of the stream. The Jarl is always in, dispensing justice in the form of haikus. The next one would be Big Otas, the rookie. Very rarely does someone charge headlong into the haiku battle without experience, but O made it a point this year to get as many haikus as he could. He was a late starter too. I don't think we got him in the stream until like May or June, and he made it to the Ride or Die Haiku Assassination Squad. He's a guy who has big hopes and big dreams. I believe we'll see more about him later. Up next would be the wise master himself, Jedi, deciding to take a step down out of the top 10 due to just a lot of popularity. He took it in stride, still frequent attender, great haiku topics. We talk a lot about sports, a very likable guy. One of the themes running through the stream this year was his engagement and wedding to another haiku hooligan. They're not connected. I'm not taking credit for that. I don't want commission on Jedi's happiness. I don't need that. But Jedi makes the list once again. An important part, one of the original haiku emeritus or hooligan emeriti from the early streams. He was number 3 the first year. He made the top 10 last year as well. So he's a very important member of the squad. Butterplay Peanup, Philip Schneider came in. One of those people last year, there's a few, we'll bring more of them up later, at the end of last year who said, I want to make a move. I want to be here more. I want to get more haikus. Philip was a He was a top 10 last year. He finished right outside the top 10 this year. The competition just gets a little intense, and I want to acknowledge him for his participation. His haikus that were effectively written in computer code were really good. It made me learn things I didn't want to learn, and I don't want to learn things. And lastly, rounding out the 10 people who make up the Ride or Die Haiku Assassination Squad, the quiet man himself, Muta Shadow. He's here basically every stream. It's weird because he doesn't say a lot, but he says a lot with his impact. A lot of one-word haiku titles juxtaposed against absolute monstrously big titles. He's been here almost since the beginning. He really hit the stream hard at the beginning of last year and became an impact player right away. And he rounds out the Ride or Die Haiku Assassination Squad. Those guys cover Haiku Tom's butt, and he wants you to enjoy the view. He's implying that he has a nice set of biscuits, and you want to look at them. Also, look at his pipe, man. He needs to stay out of the sun. So now we've recognized the Ride or Dies. Let's talk about the hooligans with the greatest impact in the stream, of course, which is the Haiku Champs. The top 10 haiku receivers of the year. Let's talk about them. They're your haiku champs. They're my haiku champs. They're our haiku champs. So first and foremost, let's talk about the people on the bottom 10, the bottom rung here. They call their shot. A lot of these people are people who were in the stream last year at the end who said, I want to be in the top 10 this year, and they made it happen. First of all, Chelsea P 2009 with 189 haikus. She had a really long streak. She fell off the board for a little bit, came charging back in. You'll see a little bit. You saw that on the other one. She was here, then she was gone. Then she made a move and came back once again. One of the themes for her this year was her engagement and her wedding and the excitement about that. The managing of just her life as a mom and handling the kids' business. Next, every time we slay another one who decided that he was going to be on the list this year and who came up and off the list, frequently attending. A lot of just mostly the haiku themes were busting my balls, giving me a hard time, commenting on gaming and lack thereof, and calling me and Haiku Tom on our assorted crap. Slay, congratulations. Also, Slay is the guy who provided the music you're listening to right now, the Haiku Blues, and the Haikusmas music that were both very well received and very well enjoyed. Congratulations, Slay, on making the top 10. You ought to do better next year. Next, Joe is your hero. Joe is a guy who's been in here all 3 years, kind of in and out. He came in the middle of the year again, started hitting it pretty hard. He's another guy at the end who's like, I want to make the top 10, made a big push at the end with a lot of biddies. He was a big guy during the sale also to kind of make his mark. I expect big things out of Joe in the future. I like Joe. Joe has good topics. He's down there in Hotland, and the only thing hotter than the heat is those haikus. So there's your 8, 9, and 10 on the board. People who called their shot and did it this year. Next, let's move up a little bit more to Legacy Haiku Champs. So we talk about number 7 on the list. Hark, these are all heroes of the sale, really. People who showed up big at the sale. AK Potatoes with 205 haikus. 170 or so of those were in the haiku sale. Potatoes was also one of the original haiku champs in year 1 with 28, where he finished in the top 10 with 28 haikus. Took a little more than that this year to make the top 10. Potatoes, congratulations. You're one of the few, and we'll talk about that a little later, people who have made the top 10 list more than once. 205 haikus. Anybody who put in a lot of haikus in the sale also paid a price themselves. It was a bit of a two-edged sword where, you had to come up with 170 haiku topics, and he covered the gamut on stuff there. So he deserves as much credit as I do for making that interesting and getting that many haikus. Congratulations, Potatoes. Our pal C. Chrisman, otherwise known as Colin, 209 haikus, another guy, hero of the sale, guy who was big last year, a good rookie year, decided to call a shot this year, move up into the list. He had to make a push at the end to get in. He wanted to bop Potatoes and get over 200 haikus, and he managed to get that done. And as a person who's in the stream every stream basically, or almost every stream, a lot of topics about the game we're playing, a lot of breaking my balls. He's a person that is a friend of mine. We have lunch about every 6 weeks or so. But I'm not biased though. He had to put the work in. You don't just you have to earn your way onto the list. And Colin did it this year. The man likes barbershop. The man likes his dinosaur game in which he got impregnated by some kind of dinosaur. I don't understand. But in any case, congratulations, Colin, on making it to number 6 this year at 209 haikus. That's a giant number. And both of these two people would have won the first year and the second year. Or both these people would have won the first year. That would have been the highest numbers in the stream in the first year. Shows how much we've grown as a company. Then Kale Vitraz, another guy without an avatar, another hero of the sale. He got about 180 and then started slow rolling his points off. I think he's back into squirreling his points again. Another guy who had to put a lot of work in. He didn't. If you look through the logs of the last hour of the sale, there was probably 250 requests, and these two guys, Kale and Potatoes, were about 3/4 of them. So you got real good at typing their names into Discord. Kale had a lot of, once again, topical things. Also busted my balls. He's the inventor of the character Saul T. Dog, which, I mean, may or may not be an analog for me. I'm not sure. Sometimes Saul runs into bad luck. Sometimes Saul has a little bit of joyous moments. We're still trying to figure out who Saul T. Dog is, but I hope he stays in the stream forever. It gives me a mirror with which to look at myself into, should I want to. Congratulations to you three. 230 haikus. That's a beastly number. 180 or so during the sale. Next, the top 4. Just off the podium. Behold them in all their glory. Da Boomsticks. Da Boomsticks, in what is technically his rookie year, 275 haikus. Da Boomsticks is buttressed by a few main haiku topics. One, he is the creator of Harvey Crisco and the writer of the Chronicles of Harvey Crisco, in which he wrote a man's life out in terms of subjects or terms of lines, and then we turn them into haikus. So effectively, there's a parallel approach to Harvey Crisco's life, his life and times, and it was a fascinating character with a lot going on. I enjoyed writing them. There were 75 of those, I think, maybe more, plus a epilogue and a prologue, so probably around 80 or so haikus covering the lives of Harvey Crisco, his failures, his successes, and his ultimate demise. And then follow that up with the new one, which we just started, called The Tales of Witch Named Mary, which is a bit of a spin-off, and that was another 30 or 40 haikus, and a lot of haikus about Rambo, a lot of haikus about sharding, a lot of haikus about having spoons in your butt. That's just who that man is. And I believe he works nights, so we're catching him when we catch him. 275 haikus, an amazing number. Congratulations, Boomsticks. But just off the podium, though, unfortunately. We'll see what next year holds for him. High attendance, 86, and a man with a passion for the haikus and something to go with here. Now we go into the top 3. On the 3rd place, of course, you know her, you love her. Brand Diesel, 359 haikus, a few less than last year, but I think she pulled up a little bit when she got to the end. Probably hoarding points. Also, her availability kind of changed a little bit. The High Queen herself, legendary haiku figure in the stream. I'm going to say of that 359 haikus, more than a third of them were Cleve News haikus, where we chronicle my year and the things that I have going on, which, as you know, nothing ever happens here in Northeast Ohio. Very generous participant in the stream. Haikus about her dog situation. I don't know if she ever sorted out the Penelope situation yet. Her move, kind of what's going on in her work over at the AutoZone. I didn't realize AutoZone was like a Machiavellian kind of construct where iron sharpens iron. And there's a lot of intrigue. But Brandy, 359 haikus, that's an astounding number. We're starting to get up into 8 or 9% of all the haikus for the year were for one person. A stupefying number, a number that would not have been first place last year, because I think her 365 was first last year. So congratulations, Brandy. You're beloved in the stream. We appreciate all of your contributions. Now in the 2nd place tier with a very nice times 10 number, Darthling. Darthling is one of the few people, along with Brandy, who has been here on the list, who's been a haiku champ all 3 years. Out of all these years, only 2 people have made the list all 3 times. Brandy with one, Darthling with the other. 69 times 10. Just a human centipede of niceness. He called his shot. He stopped. I love the Darth. Like, you have to play Punch Out to appreciate the avatar. As you know, Soto Popinski is the Reaper. What do you say about Darthling's haiku topics? As it really runs the gamut to what we're doing in the stream. A little bit of ball breaking. A couple of series, like a meme series. I think there was an autocorrect series that was kind of fun. A lot of different topics. A person who's here quite a bit. You're always happy to see him here. The Darthling Yo. is very beloved and well respected in the chat. Darthling, congratulations on 690 haikus. Darthling has finished second every single year. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride, lurking in the shadows. Maybe that's how he likes it. But a third, second place finish for Darthling. Thank you very much and congratulations on your position. That leaves us with just one more, the haiku champ for 2024. Let's take a look at the beautiful throne we had custom built and shipped to his house. Just wait for it. It'll be there soon. Would be Computer MD82 with the astounding number 1,001 haikus. He was Rookie of the Year last year, coming in out of nowhere for 200. 1,000 haikus, nearly topping the first year number all by himself. Varied and vast topics, a lot of lists. I liked the emote series that he did, that we got up to like 40 or 50 of those. We also did a lot of the, back when we had Tombot or Buttsbot, about 60 of those. Tombot series or Best of Buttsbot was really big. He even went back into the archives and found a few more. We really enjoyed us some Buttsbot haikus and the fun. Then also the new one he's working on, the Tomified Lyrics haiku series, where we just throw the word Tom. Like I would, I'm not a narcissist, you are, but I will just throw my name into song lyrics, and then we'll turn those into haikus too. A lot of haiku duos, haiku trios, a lot of topics that we come across. The 12 Days of Haikusmas is his baby, a big participant in the sale. He did the A to Z of the Cleveland Tom stream, which I want to read again and put into a YouTube video. I really like that. I thought it was really well constructed. Just an all-around great participant in the stream. Does a great job modding. Very generous, more generous than anybody need be for what we're producing here. That's a lot of haikus copy, and I'm stopping at 1,001 was a very interesting choice. Good guy, good content, excellent guy to have around. We appreciate you. Congratulations on your position as the haiku champ for 2024. We'll see what next year turns out to be, but right now it's compy stream, and we're all just participating in it. We extend our congratulations to you. Thanks a lot, buddy. We appreciate you. What do we have next here? Let's talk about superlatives. I wanted to start giving out other awards for kind of some unique initiatives we've started here. So there's a couple we started this year. One is the Rookie of the Year for the Haiku Rookie of the Year. Yeah, that's a really poor job of making that happen, but I believe it conveys the message. So the Rookie of the Year is the most haikus in first or second year if you got less than 3 the previous year. So if you pop in or at the end of the year, maybe you get a haiku and you decide, I'm going to have a big year this year. So it gives you a little bit of latitude. So let's go through we have 5 people these are 5 rookies that had an impact this year. First of all, Sir Dash, our Australian friend, he got 8 haikus in his rookie year. Not too shabby. That would a big number, but he is 5th in Rookie of the Year. Papa Tate, 26. He came in about mid-season, got some haikus. A guy who was starting to get a lot of attendance, so I assume if he comes in a little later, we catch a little more of him. You might see him a little bit more in future haiku reports. Gridiron Norseman, a guy who made the Ride or Die haiku extermination team, was 71 as a rookie with no haikus the year before. That's pretty impressive. Next, another guy who made the big list, Big Otis, 125. With no haikus this year, came in mid-year, hit the stream like a truck, promised big things this year, delivered. I expect big things from him next year. And of course, this year's Rookie of the Year, Da Boomsticks with 275 haikus. Fun fact, Da Boomsticks only had 2 haikus last year. Came in this year with 275 haikus. Really decided he was going to be a daily driver, and he was in there day 1, and he followed us around the entire year with a big haiku number. Congratulations on being Rookie of the Year. Previous Rookie of the Year, of course, 2022, Brand Diesel 327 was Rookie of the Year because there wasn't any stats before that. And last year, as I mentioned before, Computer MD82. So it shows this is a pipeline to the big time for you, Boomsticks. Pipeline to the big time. Are you going to burn out? Are you going to fade away, or are we going to keep on rocking and rolling? Congratulations. A second one that I thought of, which I thought would be fun, would be the Haiku Participation Award. I kind of like this one. This one is for the person who's done the most years with the fewest haikus. So we've done 3 years in this stream so far. 2 people tied for this award. Lane Rayner and Mutin Pizza with the 3. They showed up all 3 years and have a total of 4 haikus. That's amazing. It means they come in, they get their one haiku per year, and then they bounce. It's like, hey man, you participated, you tried. GG's to those guys. Thanks, fellas, I guess. Given the fact that they've only gotten 4 haikus in 3 years, suggests that this news isn't going to get back to them. But if you see them on the streets or at the Costco, go ahead and drop them my thanks. So that's that. Now let's do the all-time numbers. Everybody with over 100 is presented here, starting with the Pickled Peppers at 118, all the way up to the Computer MDs of 1,222. We got 2 people cross 1,000 haikus this year. Darthling and Compy both passed 1,000. Brandy could probably do it next year. I'm assuming she will. Jedi, a couple guys who can get to 500, 400. The numbers are keep growing. This list would have been 1 person or 2 people after the first year. Now it's, what is that, about 20 or so? So that's exciting. Also, you can see there, we highlighted the number of times as haiku champ. The only 3-time haiku champs, Darthling and Brandy, with 3 times, and only 4 people did it twice. Compy this year and last year, Jedi the first year and this year, Potatoes the first year and this year, and Rocket Sauna, who was the first 2 years, who took a bit of a step back this year but still popped in. If you look at the other graphic, for all 3 years, I could break it down into participation for all 3 years. So 42.9%, so about 3 out of 7 got a haiku 1 year out of the 3. About around a third got them on all 3 years. So that's the people there, from all the way down from Darth's 1088, all the way down to the 4 for Mutant Pizza and Lane. And then about 25%, about a quarter for 2 years. We'll see how this grows over time. I suspect it's always going to lean to 1 year, because people tend to get in like the big numbers. The big haiku people make up a majority of the haikus, and those people are here most of the years. But probably 10% of the haikus is done. Probably less than 10% of the haikus is done by probably 50% of the hooligans, something like that. It's a big number like that. So people who pop in for once. So I like that distribution there. I expect it to continue kind of along that line. I expect the 4 years to get a little smaller, and the less years portions to grow as we go. If we do this 10 years, this is going to look very different. It's going to keep leaning towards 1 year, and the 10 years and 9 years will be smaller. So it's still exciting to know that we 3 full years in. The first year's canon in terms of numbers and the haikus themselves, but not in terms of keeping the data. I just don't have data on it. We weren't doing it back then. We didn't think we'd have a corporation that mattered. So I want to keep that up going. Congratulations to everybody who's done some serious haiku numbers. I appreciate it. It's a big deal to me. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Let's talk about our sincerest thanks. Definitely, we got Leonardo DiCaprio to pose for this. This is definitely not ripped off the internet and thrown right into my PowerPoint presentation. For everyone who watched the stream, subscribed, donated biddies, or got a haiku this year, like this thing, it takes at some point I hung up a shingle and said this is what we're doing, and people come in, they sniff around. Some people like it so much they come back. Some people like it not a lot and they don't come back, or some people just like to hear me talk. I don't know, but anybody who's here, you're all valuable, and you all make up a greater community that I've really enjoyed helping build with your help, of course, and participating in it myself. First of all, to help myself and Every Time We Slay for allowing me to use their music in stream. I mean, you've been listening to the Haiku Blues now for the last 53 minutes. Health, of course, excellent work on your affiliate study. I want to get inside there. Health's haikus are quality. I appreciate his attention to detail. I appreciate the tech support he gave himself, and gave himself some nice graphics that he can use that gives it a different feel than what I do, even though we're doing the same thing. So GG's to you. I hope your numbers grow as high as you want them to. Wait, do I gotta push this one? There you go. To Miss Cleve Jr. and my family members for not asking too many questions. I enjoy doing haikus. I enjoy the stream. It's a delicate balance to not make it take too much of your life when it's something you enjoy so much, and it adds a lot more to my plate. It's a lot of extra work offline just to do stuff, but I enjoy it. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. Right? This is not how I earn my living. This is just a hobby. But I appreciate my family for kind of letting me escape to the basement and do something that may or may not be the most productive thing. And of course, to all the people who ever offer tech support, encouragement, ideas to make the stream even a little better, people that aren't around anymore, people who help me set things up, Dom, RTA, Jom comes to mind, Alice and Hocus for encouraging me to start, and everybody who was here in the beginning when we were pointing, there was no haikus and we were pointing my phone at a TV screen. who helped me set all this stuff up and make it kind of work. It's awesome. I appreciate it. It's a big deal to me. It's a big deal to me, and I enjoy it very much. It added a new. I would almost define the Twitch era of my life as its own separate era, along with other things that I've done. The Twitch era is kind of its own unique era, and I hope it goes on for as long as it can. So is that it? There's nothing else there. So guys, I want to say thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'll see you soon. Watch the videos if you like. We're going to keep streaming. We're going to keep rocking and rolling. And wait, do I have another slide here? Yes, I do. I believe I do. Okay, there you go. There you go. It's stunning how much we've grown and how much we've been able to achieve as a community. It's only possible to support you've given me. I'm very thankful for all of you. And it's not a number. The numbers thing is just to kind of give people recognition and to gamify the thing, which is just fun. But this is, I want it to be all in good spirit, and I want everybody to have a good time with it. So, guys, I'm going to go to this screen right here. Guys, thank you so much for participating. Thank you for watching the Haiku Report. This will be in the YouTube channel if you want to see it. I want to say thanks for enjoying it. Thanks for all the work you've done this year. I appreciate it. I love my time here, and none of this is possible without you. So until next year, peace out, Girl Scouts, and I'll see you all at the very next Haiku Report. Ta-ta.